Okay, guys, so we reached the end. Are you satisfied or no? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is the reunion part 3, which is actually season 12, episode 26, if you will. Now, we got through this. This is 3 parts. And as far as if I'm satisfied or not, you know what? I'm cool. I'm cool with how things went down. Because they gave it a shot, and I think it pretty much worked out. It was entertaining. It was not boring or anything like that, and it was something different. And they made it through, because there's a lot of other shows that just ended. They just ended. They didn't even give it a shot. They didn't even try. They just said the hell with it. The show's over and move on. And they let the pandemic win. So I'm going to give them a thumbs up for that. Like I said, and it wasn't boring. It actually was more entertaining than sometimes than the reunions have been in the past. Because generally one of the parts is usually trash. And we didn't have that here, I don't think. But this part in general was a lot about Kenya. And we had an old surprise person popped in. And Nene popped out. A mess. Anyway, first things first, Miss Kenya. Miss Kenya starts off, she said that she was definitely not trying to ruin Cynthia's proposal. She definitely wasn't trying to be mean or malicious. Kenya, you were a hater. You were hating on Cynthia. And even in your speech, when you were saying how, well, I had heard about it, this, that, the other, I got the feel that she was really tired of hearing about #chill. She was tired of, misery loves company. And she's been miserable this whole time. Her relationship is in the toilet. And it came off very much that way. It came off as misery loves company. Cynthia is the happiest that we've seen her in years. And it seems as though it was about getting on Kenya's nerves. And that's just my observation. So, no, I thought you were a little shady. You were being vicious in the way that only Kenya can. No rhyme, no reason. Just doing it. Just being nasty. And it was what it was. Now, the other flip side of that was Cynthia and the cookie lady. Did you feel as though you were actually ambushing Tanya with the cookie lady? Was that cool? No, that wasn't cool either. I thought that Cynthia was too involved. And it came across as shady. It really did. Candy actually called Cynthia out on it and told Cynthia, I love you, but with everything and how it all played, it looks bad. It looks bad. It looks like you were doing too much. It looks bad. And I agree. If I'm actually being honest, the way that Cynthia was moving about with the cookie lady stuff, it was the way that you would move about with that situation with a girl that you really don't like, where you want to see the explosion in real time. That's how it came across for me, if I'm being honest. Not a girl you hate, but a girl that you really just ain't all that into. But Tanya jumped out there and said, no, she believes Cynthia. Cynthia's a good friend of hers. She loves Cynthia, and she's a good friend of hers. She doesn't feel that way. So, Candy, shut up, Candy. Candy, look, all right. Child, that's it. What more do you say? What more do you say to that? If Tanya's okay with it, Cynthia saying, no, you just leave your child, leave it alone. Anyway, another little shady situation. Kenya apologized for the whole situation in Greece over the wine with Cynthia. She swore that she wasn't being malicious, that it started off as a joke. Cynthia said, yes, it's a joke that ended up going on too long. But I'm going to give this to Kenya because this is something that I can't remember really seeing Kenya do this before. But Kenya actually stood in her stuff. She stood in her stuff and reprimanded herself. I said, come on, Kenya, for self-correction. Now, y'all know I ain't no big fan of Kenya's, but when you self-correct, you definitely need to have a hat taken off to you. And she self-corrected herself. She sat right on there and she said when she watched it back, she had to agree with the fans and how the fans and the viewers actually called it and said, you know, that it looked really, really bad. And when she watched it back herself, she thought it looked bad. But she swore that she really wasn't trying to be malicious to Cynthia, but you were. But whatever. But we're going to let it go. We're going to let you go here because she took ownership of it somewhat. And she just says it just was a joke. And Cynthia was like, it's cool. It was a joke that just went on a little too long. Me personally, I don't think it was ever a joke. It was nasty. But that's okay. That's all right. But that was very interesting to see Kenya do. Kenya's so hot and cold. She's so hot and cold. You know what I mean? But that's all right. That's all right. That I guess it just goes, there's some stuff in there that she got some evil to her, but there's some good in Kenya. You know what I mean? She's just not, you know, always just nasty, but there's some good in her. You know what I mean? Because we see she's hard and she's a little mean at times, but there is actually a very, very soft, fragile person in Kenya, and we see that. So, you know, it is what it is. Listen, that's part of being a woman, I guess. It takes all those different parts to make up a woman, and it just depends on what part you decide to show most. And a lot of times with Kenya, she shows that little nasty, vicious part more than she shows her soft and, you know, delicate side. So, I guess. Moving on. Kenya went on and talked about how she actually feels that Nene is threatened by her. Candy kind of added in and said, you know what, Kenya and... Because Andy actually asked Candy how she felt about this. Candy said, you know what, Kenya and Nene have been fighting so long that she can't even remember what it started about. Listen, I've been here the whole 12 seasons, and to be quite honest, I don't remember what the hell they started fighting about first either. I really don't. I remember I remember Candy and Nene and when they first started fighting, but I do not remember what started. And I sat there and I fought about it through a whole commercial break. I can't remember what kicked off the whole issue with Nene and Kenya. But it's a hot mess. A mess. Anyway, then they ended up calling Kenya out about this thing about being in people's personal space and doing that provoking. She did a lot. She does it anyway, but she did a lot of that this season. She kept saying, no, and she always has an excuse for why she did it. But stop it. Stop it. You do that. There were all those different times that you jumped out there and you were putting yourself in people's face. And I'm like, she wants them to pop her so she could sue them or try to get them thrown off the show or, you know, really create a buzz. But you were doing it. You ain't put yourself in Mark's way. I noticed that. You ain't put yourself in, what's that old boy, the crazy one she had? The little boyfriend she had before Mark? You wasn't throwing yourself in his way, but you jumping in people's faces and carrying on. You were doing that. You were doing it a lot this season. But at Candy's shower, you really got down with it. Porsha and Marlo said yes, they felt like you were doing that. You were putting yourself in Nene's face and trying to provoke her. Cynthia and Eva said no, they didn't think that you were. Listen. This is what I thought was probably the funniest thing that actually happened the whole episode. Kenya had told Porsha to shut up. Like she was there talking over and stuff. And she basically told her to shut up. Hey, that damn Porsha said, listen, I'm going to say what I want to say. We done sat up here and watched your square talk bleeping while you've been running your mouth for 45 minutes. You done gave us a whole color purple monologue, bitch. You talking about somebody falling out laughing? I said, now, listen, I ain't no Porsha fan, but drunk Porsha is fun. Drunk Porsha is entertaining. And baby, she was flipping through her cup with that fruit in there. I said, look at her. She is high as a Georgia pine, honey. Drunk Porsha is entertaining. Told her, honey, listen, with all that long ass talking. And they got the fussing. They were fussing so bad. The only thing that stopped them was when little Ben showed up. Ben entered. Little 1-year-old Ben, which is Aunt Bravo Andy's little boy. He showed up in the screen and they stopped arguing. They were like, oh, I said, try to take a baby to stop the fools from acting foolish, don't it? And he was just cute, just up there grinning and looking at him like, look at all these damn fools on here, daddy. And child, they stopped that fighting. And Kenya gonna tell him, don't come for me unless I send for you, little boy. Anyway, after that, you know, Nene had to left. Y'all know there was no Nene. We wondering where did Nene go. There was some text messages and things and pictures going around and they seen it. Nene ran off, honey, because guess who showed up? Miss Yovanna. First of all, let's start here. Fashions. Yovanna, what the hell you got on? Girl, if that didn't look like a spray-painted glad bag, honey. Ugly. And I didn't like that hair either. I didn't like it. Everything looked like, oh, this is going to be mean, child. That old spray paint gold glad bag dress and that straight black hair. And she really looked like one of Dracula's bottom bitches. I was like, oof. She looked like after the girls, you know how Dracula had those girls, the bottom bitches, and he had some main girls too. Yovanna was looking like one of the girls that after the main girls sucked somebody dry, she was one of the bitches that had to clean it up and do away with the body or eat the last parts that was left or something. She just didn't look like something really bad going on. I didn't like it. I didn't like none of the shit going on, the makeup, none of it. But anyway, she came in and shook the floor, baby, because she ran Nene off. Nene could say whatever she want. Nene did not want to be there because Nene was guilty of all things that was up there, it seemed as though. Here, there was this thing, honey. Yovanna been receiving threatening calls. She received a cease and desist letter, okay, from Nene. And allegedly the threatening calls was coming from Nene. She was told that she needed to destroy any information that she had recorded or anything about Nene. And she threw out there that her attorney's name was Michael Sterling. We all know Michael Sterling. He's married to Eva. I said, oh, the shit done got heavy over here. As she started telling her story, they were jumping on and telling her, well, why would you do that? You met us. You had hung out with us. And now you're telling us that someone was able to tell you to come and hang out with us and report back to her. And she was like, yes, that's what happened. But I was just supporting a friend. And Candy was like, girl, that makes it look even worse. You ain't shit because you had actually spent time with her. Oh, no. She was trying to explain it away, girl. That backpedaling pussy puppet is not going to help. You were raunchy. You met us. You got to know us. And then you made the decision to double cross us. You ain't shit. And you know what? The truth of the matter is, Yovanna, you can say whatever you want. You aren't the type of person that anybody should hang out with. You're not. You're really not. You could be bought and sold. And that's sad, especially at this age. And you claim to be that bitch. I ain't never known that bitch that could be bought and sold. Not a good look. Anyway, and Tanya said, oh, so you were a snitch is what you were. She was a pawn. She was a pawn. Nene used her and sacrificed her and then ran from her after Yovanna done got mad. They done fell out, honey, and she didn't want to face her. Nene ran. Nene ran, told her to record the people and all that mess. That was horrible. Child, then Nene ended up calling Porsha on the phone. And the girls finally, remember, for each part of this reunion, I've been saying, black Nene out. Just be done with it. You don't think enough of what we got going on here to sit here and deal? Then go on about your business. Well, they finally caught on, like somebody heard me, honey. And the girls were like, we're not talking to her, honey. If she can't get on the screen like everybody else, and she ran on out of here, she playing punk, then she can just go ahead. We didn't heard enough from her. Heard a complete enough. And Marlo had a nerve to say, you all are really being immature. No, Marlo. It's bullshit. And then they gave Marlo, okay, Yovanna and Marlo, it's been nice seeing you. Bye. Just a reminder, you're really not a castmate. See ya. And then he went to finish up the rest of the show. But before Marlo left, Eva apologized to Marlo because she said, I thought you were the double crosser in Snakegate, and I had said that, and I apologized to you, Marlo. And she sent her on about her way. A mess. Nene, that was so trifling. So trifling. And it was such a, she claims to be such a boss. I just thought that looked horrible. You looked really, really weak and really, really corny. That's just my opinion. But he wrapped it on up from there. Like I said, this wasn't bad at all. I think it went over pretty well. And it was entertaining. And I will say, I'm going to go out with this. Listen, I still think Candy looked really cute to have actually done all her stuff by herself. I'm giving her that. I think she looked very cute. I liked her white dress and I liked her hair and all that. She looked soft. I liked it. Drunk Porsha is fun. Period. All right, y'all. I'll catch y'all next season, I guess. This is it for Real Housewives of Atlanta. We done finished another season. Even through the pandemic, we still. Real Housewives of Atlanta, they listen, they make the lane for the girls. So it is what it is. Who's running the girls? Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's who's running the girls. All right, you guys. Later. See you next season.